Today is Constitution Day, when delegates first signed the U.S. Constitution in 1787. The Bill of Rights was added later, including the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of the press. Yesterday, President Donald Trump implied his administration might take action against journalists that he believes have been, quote, unfair in their coverage.
What do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
You'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart.
We wanted to take a closer look at freedom of the press, what it actually means, and if it's being threatened right now. So joining me live is Chris Bury, a DePaul senior journalist in residence, who also spent 30 years as a correspondent, including 15 working for Nightline in Washington, D.C., covering politics and politicians. So let's start with the basics, Chris. What is free press? You know, sometimes we need a reminder. And why is an independent press important for the country?
Well, as you said, Dana, in the Bill of Rights, the very First Amendment gives us freedom of the press. And what it says is Congress may enact no law that abridges freedom of the press. Now, there are some restrictions. For example, we cannot say something or report something false about somebody that damages their reputation. We can't use words that incite direct violence. We can't publish obscenity, such as child pornography. But outside of those restrictions, which courts have upheld, we have widespread freedom of the press, and we're really the only country in the modern world that has it enshrined in our Constitution. You
know, I like to say, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's not true, right? And I feel like, in my opinion, the lines between not liking something and it, though still being factual, you know, are getting blurred. Are you concerned about people maybe not understanding or wanting to understand that sort of fundamental difference, that something can be maybe unpopular, but it still makes it true? And how does that impact freedom of the press?
I absolutely share your concern. In the clip you played of President Trump talking to ABC News correspondent Jonathan Karl is a perfect example. The president there is accusing Jonathan Karl of hate speech because Karl asked him a perfectly legitimate question that Trump didn't like. We are not in the business of being the propagandist for any government official. We're not the public relations arm of any government or any government person. And so I think it is concerning where officials like President Trump are throwing around the words hate speech when they're really just annoyed at a question they don't like. And we as journalists, we have the right in our Constitution to ask questions of public officials that may be annoying to them. That's too bad.
I know that you teach future journalists at DePaul. What's the most important thing that you are telling them right now in this climate about covering politics or any potentially controversial issue?
Accuracy is your North Star. You have to get it right. It's more important to be right than first. We've all heard the old cliche about the words out of the City News Bureau in Chicago. If your mother tells you she loves you, check it out. That's supposed to be a joke, but it also means business. That I teach my students, you have to dig and make sure that the facts that you report are truthful. Go to primary documents, check out the tape of people to make sure the quote, the soundbite is accurate, and double check, triple check your facts. Get names, get them spelled right, and by the way, also get the name of the dog.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Chris, I could talk to you about this for hours, really, truly, but unfortunately we have to go. But I really appreciate you joining me this morning. I think this is a very important topic for so many reasons. Chris Bury, senior journalist in residence at DePaul, thank you for your insight, and I hope we might be able to have you back sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right.